Enhancing Teaching and Education Courses with Tpack and Samr. This is research-based strategies for the early childhood and education faculty. Presented by Amanda Bashir for the LTDE 5306 class, Technology Planning and Administration. Good morning. Why technology integration matters. Here's some brief stats to go over. Instructional supports, instructional technologies, and networking support. So, with technology, 92% adequate prep time is what our teachers are saying, and 68% design support. Instructional technologies, 76% online instructional technologies we're comfortable with, 69% on-campus instructional technology. In networking, 71% of the faculty in the same discipline in the same institution are comfortable with integrating technology. 64% with faculty teaching in the same modality at the same institution. So, 21st century learners expect text-enhanced instruction. They are expecting that engaging part with technology. Relevance in preparing the future educators to model the effective tech use. We're going to be talking more about that as I go on. So, let's introduce the Tpack framework. Tpack is technological, pedagogical, content knowledge. It's a mouthful. Tpack Venn diagram looks like this right over here, as you can see. It has a content bubble, which is here in blue, the pedagogy, which is here in pink, and the technology, which is here in orange. And then we have it where it meets all, we have where technology meets the pedagogy, so we have that knowledge. Then we have over here where technology and content meet, and then down here we have where pedagogy and content meet together. And in the center is what we are striving for in Tpack, to have all three of those components together. Tpack in practice within an education course, these are some of the examples. So we're talking about early childhood literacy methods. So how can we integrate phonemic awareness and interactive read aloud? So phonemic awareness, making sure you have it maybe through a Google slide or something that the kids can see visually, along with demonstrating how does my mouth move when I make these sounds. Having that posted like in the classroom on a sound wall, so that kids can recognize those sounds and how they're supposed to make those sounds. Interactive read alouds, having that interactive read aloud where they can actually, answer questions throughout the story. Using apps like Seesaw or Epic for digital storytelling. And outcome would be students experience blended methods that can replicate in their own classroom. So we're talking about how teachers can use some of these and then use them in their own classrooms, since this is for university students. The benefits, and research-based here, it encourages thoughtful tech integration, enhances pre-service teacher readiness. In other words, if we're introducing this at the education and the university level, then it helps prepare our teachers. If they get used to doing it within their education courses, getting ready to be a teacher, then they'll be better prepared once they are a teacher. Increasing faculty confidence in using technology. So the more we use it, the better we get. It also helps support diverse learners with multiple modalities, meaning we have lots of people coming through to be teachers, just like we do students. And we need to provide different ways of learning throughout our courses, just like we would expect them to do in their classroom. This This is the SAMR model. SAMR stands for substitution, augmentation, modification, and redefinition. And as you can see, it starts here on the bottom where you just substitute a technology. It doesn't really impact anything, just you change one for the other. Augmentation, technology acts as a direct substitute for something that is functional. Modification, technology allows for significant change or redesign in whatever you're doing. Redefinition, technology allows for creation of a new task, such as my research paper in a second grade classroom. Instead of actually producing a research paper, we did Google Slides, where they were still given a rubric, still giving things that the teacher was looking for, correct grammar, spelling, but we were also extending it by adding a technology component and helping them learn how to make a Google slide, how to insert animation, how to insert pictures, how to insert text. All of those things are redefining how you would present a research paper. So the goal is to transform learning experiences with technology. In practice, so here are some examples. To replace a paper lesson with a Google Doc. So in other words, put something in your Google Classroom. Augmentation, add real-time peer feedback. So with Google Docs, you can actually comment within. I've also seen where we did Padlets, and you could actually talk back to the students. I've seen where I love Go Guardian. It helps protect kids, but you can also, as a teacher, real time, chat with a student at their desk and say, hey, I need you to get back on task, or hey, this is looking great, keep going. Modifications, use Canva to co-create inclusive learning infographics. In other words, pictures and words. For your early childhood, pictures and words, and going over what they mean is amazing for early childhood learners. Redefinition. Students design and teach a virtual micro lesson using Flip. So maybe they come in and they create a micro lesson and then they use it on Flip or Canva where they record the lesson and how it would go. Benefits. It encourages tech use beyond passive consumption, so they're just not sitting there watching. Promotes deeper student engagement and ownership. Fosters creativity and collaboration. I allowed my second graders to collaborate on a Google slide. So there were 2 of them working on the research. So 2 of them were working on the same Google slide. So having them work together is a great skill to learn. Also, building on their own information. So help students become reflective practitioners. Combining Tpack and SAMR. Tpack guides what knowledge is needed. SAMR shows technology changes the task. So together, scaffold intentional design ensures meaningful tech use align with the universal design for learning principles, which is our goal in our educational classes. The impact encourages reflective teaching. This is for you, the teacher. It helps you reflect on what you're presenting. It supports modeling and pre-service for teachers, giving them that structure to before they become teachers. It improves course design and student outcomes. Examples of professional development impact. So here in our impact for development, I actually will show you this in just a second. And I had a verse for my faculty, Isaiah 43:19. See, I am doing new things. Now it springs up. You do not perceive it. I am making a way in the wilderness and streams in the wasteland. Now, you might be like, how does this equate? Just like here in Isaiah, we are looking for ways to encourage you that it may not seem like you can do it, but God gives us a way. He will provide just like he did in the wilderness. Okay? I do want to go over, I want to show you where some examples of how it helps teachers' professional development. I found this article. I am not going to say her name. You can see it right here. Or he. Katin. That could be wrong. From Turkey. They are talking about effects of teachers and professional development in a program. And if we scroll down, it talks about integrating technology in learning and teaching process has become a main goal for modern educators, which, yes, it is definitely a goal of ours. So providing that to our teachers will help. So it talks about in here, teachers are supposed to utilize technological advantages of the opportunity offered to them by information society. But the crucial question is, are teachers ready to use technology? And it's lots of studies have tried to answer this. However, it has shown that they're not being very successful. So we as teachers need to start providing more of this before teachers hit the classroom. And once they're in the classroom, professional development needs to be working on those technology as new technology comes into play. So I'm going to go back. Practical tools that you might use: early childhood apps, Seesaw, Book Creator, Pebble Go, collaboration tools, Padlet, Jamboard, Google Workspace. You could use Kahoots, which is a great quiz game. Flip, which the kids record themselves answering questions. Quizlet, lesson plan templates. They're all over the place on the internet. The students can use them to create. And my final thought, technology is a means, not an end. Tpack and SAMR empower us to design effective instruction, foster future-ready educators, and reflect critically on our own practices. Here is my reference pages. And thank you for your time as you listened to my presentation about SAMR and Tpack and how it benefits us as a faculty.